Hello, hi everyone. Hope all of you are doing good. Let me know if you can see me. Just please comment in the comment box if you can see me, and then we'll start. I think it's been long. I met you all. So, so are you able to see me? Okay, cool. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we can start. And again, I'll repeat few things. Like if you get any doubt, you can ask in between. That's again the advantage of teaching live. And whenever you are stuck or you are not able to understand anything, feel free to ask your doubts. Okay, just let's wait for 2-3 minutes. So, and I'm assuming that you have seen my past sessions. So, because in this session also we'll be requiring recursion knowledge and all. So, I hope you have seen those. But even if you don't, you can still learn from this session. So I'll just share my screen. Just let me know if you are able to see the screen. Are you able to see the screen? Okay, so today we are going to learn dynamic programming again. And again, before starting, again I will say that DP is the topic which you can only learn by practice. There is so much theory about it. So even if you have seen like anyone who has tried to teach DP has generally the way to teach DP is like by solving the problem. So again, I'll say you can just learn this session, and after the session, please practice the problems yourself. I'll again give some questions. Please practice those. Otherwise, there's no benefit of the sessions. So today again, we are going to learn about 1D DP. And so I'll just see what we are. So basically, we are going to cover one is a road cutting problem. So if you remember in the last session, we got some problem due to some technical glitch, so I was not able to complete this problem. And one is a Farida problem. These problems are basic, they are good. At least Farida problem is good, not the basic one. Road cutting is a very basic one, but these things only will help you to learn the concepts. So just try to understand them, try to learn the concepts. Even if you are taking, I guess, 3-4 hours, it's fine. That is a way to learn programming as per me. So you don't worry if you don't have to solve like 450 questions in 60 days or something. You just have to stick to your basics. Just even if you are able to solve 1-2 problem on your own by understanding the concept, it's fine. And yes, I'll try to be more regular now. I'll just arrange my sessions back to back so that you don't get a miss. Yeah, that's a miss from my side. So okay, let's start. Enough of talking. So okay, so today we are going to learn the road cutting problem. And again, sorry for the bad handwriting. So this is again a standard problem, but don't take it as a standard thing that you are, even if so people who must be knowing this, just don't, just for 5-10 minutes, just forget that you learn. Just trying to understand how do we approach to the problem and how to try to solve the DP problem, and not even DP, how to try to solve any general problem. So let's start with the question description. And if you are not able to understand the problem or anything, you can feel free to ask in the chat box. So the problem is, let's say a shopkeeper is given a road, and for now, let's say it's a 5 meter. Okay. Now this rod is, let's say, made up of some metal, and he wants to sell this rod in market. Now this rod is little special. So what happens is, the rod, like the pricing is based on the size of the rod. Like basically if you'll sell a 1 meter rod, then the price will be different. If you sell a 2 meter rod, then the price will be different. If you sell a 3 meter rod, the price will be different, and till the 5 meter. So let me just copy what example we have to. Yes, so let's say, let me just fill these values. 21895. Okay, so let me just again tell you what the problem is. So basically it's a 5 meter rod and you have to sell in the market. So one way is you can, and the thing is you cannot cut the rod in decimal. Like it will never be a 2.5. I have cut the rod of 2.5 meter. You cannot do like this. However, you can make multiple cuts, but the cut should be always in integer values. So let's see, just for a few minutes, let's say how can we sell the rod. So let's say you sell the rod of 5 meter. So the 5 meter cost is 5. So you will get 5 rupees. Okay. Now, being a shopkeeper, if you even generalize this problem, what will you trying to gain here? You will be definitely trying to gain the maximum profit, like maximum value you can attain by selling the rod. And now you're smart, so you don't want to sell like any by any guesswork here. Let's sell the one 3 meter rod and one 2 meter rod, because you can cut a 5 meter rod into these two. So what will be the value you will gain? So if you sell a 3 meter rod and a 2 meter rod, after cutting, so you will get 8 plus 1. So basically you will get rupees 9. But this is better than the 5 rupees. So similarly, you can also sell 4 plus 1. And this will be 9 plus 2, which will be 11. So now you are thinking, yeah, okay, this is not a trivial problem. It's not like I can, and there should be many cases, right? It can be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which will give you 10. Okay. And another way can be 2 plus 3, which is equal to 3 plus 2. Let's leave it. So basic one can be 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it is not a single, like I can say this is not definitely an ON problem that you have to analyze. Like, why cannot I do with this? So let's assume you don't know about anything about DP or anything, but you want to solve this problem. Okay. So first, as a shopkeeper, let's say you're in a general word, you're not even don't know the programming. What you can do, you will go for a brute force approach, and brute force approach will be, you will try to check all the possible ways, but can be number of ways, right? So, but still, let's say you don't know the programming, you will again try to find the number of ways, like you will try to find all the possible values. So let's say now the problem starts. And so first you tried, but you are not able to solve because there were too many ways. Now he has learned some programming. The shopkeeper has learned some programming, and not the DP, but he's learned some basic programming, basic recursion. So he tries. How will he try? So basically, initially he knows that I have a circle. Sorry, wait. Yeah. So he will start with so initially he has a 5 meter rod. That's the thing he knows. Okay. Now so let's do step by step. So initially he thought, what I can do, I can make a 1 meter cut. Okay. So what are the ways I have? From a 5 meter rod, I have only these five possibilities. Either I will make a 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, and 5 meter. I cannot get a 6 meter rod out of 5 meter, right? So it will be always from 1 to 5. So if he cut a 1 meter rod, so what will he, and he just thinking about in his mind, okay, I'll get a 1 meter rod, so I'll get 2 rupees. Okay. And so he think, okay, I will just take 1 meter rod and sell it. So how much money he will get? He will get 2 rupees. But now he has he has got the same problem. Now he is left with a 4 meter rod, right? Okay. So he thought, okay, isko baad mein dekhenge, we'll see it later, but let's think about the second way. What I could have done, I could have also make a 2 meter cut, and I would have earned 1 rupees. You're getting? Because 1 rupee you can earn by selling a 2 meter rod. So now you are left with 3 meter rod, right? But you have earned 1 rupees. So this you have money already got. Now you will also try to earn some money by 4 meter rod. Now one way is you can get a 3 meter rod. So you will get 8 rupees, and you are left with now only 2 meter rod. If you make a cut of 4, basically you are cutting here, like you have already sold 4 meter rod. So you'll get 9 rupees, and you are left with 1 meter rod. And if you make a cut, basically you don't need to cut, but if you sell the complete rod of 5 meter, so you will get 5 rupees, and now you are left with 0 meter rod. Okay. So one thing okay. Someone is asking, why can't we choose a greedy approach? So we'll see. Okay. So we'll see here what is the greedy approach. So we'll see it later on, but let's focus on this, and I'll prove here why that approach is wrong. But these types of question should definitely come to your mind. Like in the coin change problem, no one asked me ki why greedy fails there. So you can think on your own in that question ki why greedy. You can think of many examples and you ki where the greedy fails over there. Because the most common problem that people face in DP is, one is the recursion, another is people are not able to think whether it's a DP or greedy. And greedy, that's where sometimes makes, because it's very difficult to prove by a greedy algorithm. Okay, but so we'll see why greedy we are not choosing here. But let's say we right now the shopkeeper does not know anything and he's trying to see all the possible combinations. So now he's left with 0-meter rod. Now let's just change the color. Okay, so one thing you know for sure, if I have a 0-meter rod, means my case ends. So the shopkeeper knows that I will definitely able to earn only 5 rupees from this. Okay, but then he come back to the initial part. Okay, I have one case where I earned 2 rupees, but also I had left with 4 rupees rod. 4-meter rod. So again, if you just think about this problem, so again he is left with, again the same problem has come, like because now he needs to sell the 4-meter rod. So what he can do, he can sell again 1-meter rod, earn 2 rupees from here, and he is left with 3-meter rod. Similarly, then if he'll sell a 2-meter rod, then he will get 1 rupee more and he'll left with 2-meter rod. Then he can sell a 3-meter rod and he will left with only 1-meter rod and he will earn 8 rupees from here. Okay, and the last way is you can sell the complete 4-meter rod and you will earn 9 rupees from here after selling the but you are not left with any rod. So basically now you can say this part is also over. So I will not be able to make the complete tree, and you also didn't know to be, but yeah, you should try to make till you don't understand. So just keep making these trees and you will definitely able to understand. Now just assume one thing. So, okay, now so basically from here I am earning 9 plus 2, which is 11. Okay, and if you have seen those recursion sessions, I have told you that this circle is nothing but a function, right? And this is the parameter value which we are going to pass. So if you'll see over here, you can see key. Okay, so similarly I'll go somewhere and again I'll land with 0. So at some point all the branches will get terminated. So these things you have to be by intuition. If you're not even so, if you're because it is not possible to make the complete tree because it will grow very big. But if you want to make, you can definitely, because you just had to make it one, then you will completely understand how to make these trees and you will be able to solve the problem. And the moment you are able to make these trees, the DP is over. Now DP is that much only. So, and you will see how. So now we are able to make something with trees and we are just getting the intuition that so basically these are 5 ways, right? So now just look at these 2 ways which we have completed. So one way is this 2 plus 9. I was able to earn 11 rupees. By what? If you see, I first solved this 2 rupees by 1-meter rod and then by cutting a 4-meter rod. So this is corresponding to 1,4. Basically 1-meter rod and 4-meter rod. And if I'll see this way, this is also a branch. So from here, I was able to get only 5 rupees, which is I sold a 5-meter rod. Okay, now you must be, so basically these will be some ways, like one is branches here, one is here, one might be like this, but ultimately they are starting from this point, right? So there are total 5 ways which we started, and we know here we want to make the maximum of it. We want to earn the maximum profit. So what will you do? You will take these, the answers will be returned at every point, like here also it is something, let's say like for this branch I have earned 11, right? This branch, and for this branch I have earned 5. So what will you take? You will take the maximum, right? Obviously you want to earn the maximum profit, so you will take the maximum. So sometimes people face these problems here, how to take maximum, and they just get confused. So you can make a smaller tree. You can take an example of 2-meter rod, and you can just, because if it is a 5-meter rod, 6-meter rod, 7-meter rod, only the branches will get spread, but the logic will be the completely same. So now let's see for what we can see. And you can also, so just try, and it seems a very small tree or something, but you can take too much knowledge from here. Like one is like, if you notice here, whether it is 5 or 4 or 3 or 2, the logic behind these branches will be completely same. So I can also generalize it, like for n it will be n minus 1 branches, for 4 it will be n branches. Like I can make a 1 meter rod, 2 meter rod, 3 meter, 4 meter, till n meter. So the logic you are going to write for this circle is going to repeat for this circle. Only this part will going to be same, and that's where the programming help us. That's where the computer is helping you. You don't need to write the code for again for all these values, because you can declare a variable n and you can write a generalized logic for this n, and which will fit whether you pass 5 or 4. Like whenever you want to add something a plus b, you just write a plus b, right? Whether you pass 2 or 3 or 5 or 9, you will get the answer. Similarly here also, this is a function you are writing for general n, whether you are passing 5 and 4, and by tree you can see this is going to be bilkul same. Like you are cutting a 2 meter rod, 3 meter rod. Similarly here also you are cutting into somewhat. Okay, so, and we'll also see some another smaller example. If you are getting confused, that's fine. And again I'll say कि मतलब मैं कितना भी I teach you, you have to definitely make it on your own, and then only you can learn. मतलब there is no shortcut to DP. Okay, so let's first just see the code for this, because it is like similar to the coin change problem. If you have seen the code for that in the last session, it is going to be very straightforward. So let me show you the code for this. I have used the set. And again, I have not even used the term DQ in this question, right? We are just using some recursion. So first let's understand the question. The question here is very clear. So you are taking an input n, and let's say you are taking the rod. So first n is equal to 5, right? Just zoom my screen one more time. So n is equal to 5. Basically you have a 5 meter rod. Now you are just taking an input array, which is providing you the value. Like in this question, it was what? 21895. 21895. Again, I'm just repeating the question. Like if you cut a 1 meter rod, you will get 2 rupees. Okay. And it's not like this. Again, I'm repeating, might be someone has missed. Here, it's not like you can only cut into 2 pieces, right? It's not like you have to either 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 4. You can also cut it like 3 plus 1 plus 1. Okay. So there can be many ways. Okay. So, and the questions that you're going to you're asking in the chat box, I'll definitely answer this, but let's just complete one iteration of this solution. Okay, so now you are getting the input. Okay, now you are calling, basically this is the circle. Like if you, I hope you have seen the previous sessions. So this is that circle that we made. This every time this recursion or whatever the name you are going to give the function is that circle only which you are going to represent. So from here, like I said, we are going to write for a general n. We are not going to write either you can pass 5 or 4. Okay. So 5 comes, and just forget for right now for the terminating condition. We'll see definitely, and the logic also we'll see. But let's first focus on this line. Key, what we are going to do, what we are doing here. So what we have to do, if you see, we have to see all the problems, right? Like we have to cut the rod in every possible combination. So from where we can do from 1 meter to n meter, right? So what we are doing, and that is right the same. If you'll just imagine in your mind, it is again going with that branch and circle only. So we added the value, like 5 comes, so it was 21895, right? So for the first 5, we are going to cut a 1 meter rod. So we added 2 rupees. We added 2 rupees, and we are calling the same circle with 4, because now we are remaining with 5 minus 1 meter rod, which is 4. Okay. So again, if you want to compare it with this, we have executed this part. Okay. And in the recursion sessions, that's the most important thing whenever you are doing a recursion, which is like, because you will not be able to write the code in the first attempt. Sometimes you might be, but most of the cases, we generally face some confusion in recursion, and we are not able to debug the recursion. That is the problem that students face most. Like even I used to face that. So that is the way to understand is like recursion always work in this fashion. First, the left tree will be evaluated because 5 will call 4, 4 will call 3, and 3 will 2. And then from the left part. And if you are don't know this, then please watch the recursion section. It's not possible to repeat that part here, but please just try to learn how to debug the recursion using this approach. Okay, so now we are calling with the another circle. Okay, and then if I'll say so basically if you just imagine for now, this value will return something, right? And so once you get some value, if you remember for this part, for remember this 2 plus 4, which is like we cut a 1 meter rod and then a 4 meter rod. So it was 2 plus, let's say this returns some, that again 2 plus 9 at some point. So your answer will be 11, right? But again, in the second iteration, when you will get here, this loop is not yet completed. So you will call it for again like 5 meter rod, let's say 5 plus recursion of 0. So basically in the first attempt, you are going to call these again, like I told you, like there will be 5 branches. So what was this? 2, 1, 5. What was that? 2, 1, 8, 9, 5, right? So either it will be 1 plus. This is the first. If you know the graph little bit, it's like I don't know BF. I'm just telling you here. So these 5 branches are going to be here. 1 plus recursion of 3, 8 plus recursion of 2, 8, 9, 5, right? 9 plus recursion of 1 and 5 plus recursion of 0. But again, I'll say, first of all, you will have, this will get evaluated. Okay, like the left part will get, because recursion of 4, before going to the next iteration, it will call the recursion of 4 and it will start its process. And if you'll also observe in the tree, first you'll get 5, say 4, and then 4 will start the process, right? So this is going to be when you have to take the maximum of all these things in every part. So what I'm doing is, and again, I'll say, please try to write the code after the session. Try to make that tree with the smaller values. It will going to be max. So I'm just taking the max. It's nothing like it's very fancy thing. You can also write using the if condition, whatever you feel like. So I will be getting some answers and I'm just taking the maximum of all the answers. Like if you remember, in one part we got 5 and one part we got 11, right? So we want to take the maximum. So we'll take, and similarly all these other things will also return. So it will be 5, 11. So I will get 11 and I will just return the answer. Okay. Now come to the terminating conditions. Okay. So one terminating condition definitely you know is, like you already know, yeah, this very common sense. Like if you consider this part, whenever I am left with a 0 meter rod, you cannot go forward, right? There's no point in trying to cut a 0 meter rod. Okay. So, and you cannot earn anything from 0 meter rod. So what I'm doing, whenever n is equal to 0, you are just returning the 0. Okay. And this condition, why I have put, because again, I'll say it's up to you. It's on your implementation. So one thing what you can do is, like, if you I think even this will never come also. I am not sure why I write this thing. It will not even come. Just forget. Because we are always doing n minus I. It will never be a negative value. So it's again very simple. And initializing, I'm just with a negative number because I just want to take a maximum. So you can provide anything. The -1 also will work over here. So yeah, that is the code. Okay. And now, okay. And let's say we are sitting in an interview and you don't know the first part, like DP. And I'm damn sure if you're able to tell this part now to your interviewer, he'll be definitely impressed. And after that, definitely he'll ask you to optimize now, because if you can see there are too many branches. So definitely it is going to take very much. I mean, it's going to be a completely exponential complexity. So now you want to reduce it. Okay. Now what we have to observe in this tree, and that again is a repetition from the previous sessions. Like I told you, this circle is going to repeat itself, right? So if you see, this is 3 over here, and I like you told you here, you will always evaluate the left part first. So this 3 you will always get the answer for, right? For 3 you will always get some answer. And this 3 is coming. You can see in this tree only that you are getting this 3 again. So, and if you think in your mind, just let's say I'm just clearing some space from here. So right now on the screen, we can see two threes, right? One is the left one and one is the right one. Okay. This is C, this is C. So this you will get some answer first, because I tell you like only always the left part gets evaluated first, and that we have learned from my recursion session. So this three, let's say return some answer. Kia for three, we can earn 8 rupees as maximum. Okay. Now for this three also, if you just imagine by your code, or if very common sense also, this below part, the tree, whatever you will make, and you can also try by making in a notebook, there's no harm in it, is going to be definite replica of this. This will be definitely equal to, because every your code, what is these branches? There's just nothing but your code, and the code is same for both the threes. Like if you pass in the recursion 3 2 times, the code is not going to change, right? So why do you want to evaluate it again? Why should I? So what I will do, I will just store the answer for 3 in some array, or even if you use a common sense, like let's say you don't know DB and you are just solving this problem in a real life, you will get some answer for 3, let's say 10 rupees. Okay. And you see here, again, I have to find ki yaar, kitna profit I can earn from selling 3 meter rod again. So you will remind ki yaar, I have already calculated this 10. And because that is stored in your brain, but in computer, what you don't have in a brain, right? So you have to store in an array. So what will you do? You can store the answer of 3 in an array, which is 8, or whatever the answer, I don't care. So next time, because whenever you're encountering this, right, save the subtrees. So, and what is the way to save the subtree that we are talking here? You don't want to, because you don't have a copy, right? You cannot like click a picture and then save it. But this 3 is representing this subtree, because it is the leader of whatever you want to say. It is because whenever I'll get this subtree, I can say this is the subtree of 3. So this 3 you can store in an array or whatever. Well, a map, array, that's up to you. That's up to your implementation. So I prefer array. Why to use map of log and complexity? So I just store the answer, because at the next time, whenever I'm getting 3, you will just tell ki yaar, oh, I do not need to call the recursion. I can directly call 8. Directly get the answer. And again, I like in every session, I'm just trying to understand this. Here, DP is nothing but recursion that you already known, and one is a memoization. So like storing this value. So, and I don't know why, and that's the only reason people get scared. So I'll just write the brute force first, and which is very simple to write. I just have to add some other conditions. Whenever I'm getting this answer, and just imagine like after every circle is getting completed, you are ending here. So basically you are getting the answer here. So what you can do, you can store the answer here, and after, before returning, you are storing the answer. But there's no point of storing the answer if you're not using it. So what we will do, before calling the recursion, and I'll just tell you this also. We're going to just return the dp of n. Okay, so now what we have done. So it's again, if you want to see like, let's say first time 3 comes. So initially our dp will be, we'll just declare dp array, just assume. And this is the method. Again, you are just initializing it with -1. You can also write a for loop for this. So what we are checking here, it is -1 means it has not evaluated yet. So initially, let's say when the 3 come, you have not called anything, right? Like you don't have an answer, so you will go forward and the code continues. But now let's say you have already solved the answer for 3, which is 8. Okay, now the second time you're coming, you will see here, okay, this is now not equal to -1. So why to call the again? Because I already have the answer. So now you will just return the answer. And that's the only thing. This is what dp is. Okay, so always try to think the first brute force. That's what I also recommend in interviews, and also because, and people are scared of that only because people are just learning only the questions these days, and whenever see a new question in interview, they get scared. So there's but if you learn the concept, even if you are always trying to solve the questions in contest, you will never get scared, because in contest here you will always get new questions. So if you solve them, you will get confidence here, I can also solve new questions, and that too in a limited time. And that's what is interview also about. Like if you get a known question in interview, it's very good. There's no harm in that. But if you're also getting a unknown question, you can also try, because you have already done that 100 times in the contest. Now this 3 is 8. Now, yeah, that's all I think. So this is this rod cutting problem, and these might look simpler, but even people don't know these problems also. And this, in interviews also, these are the ones people will start, at least even in the good companies also, they will be stick to this level. Some of the companies like Google at time might ask some tougher problems also, and we'll also solve that in later on. But your basics building blocks start from these problems only. Okay, so now let's come back to the complexity of this problem, because people generally get scared what is the complexity. And again, I told you, if you are seen my sessions from the first class, I told you a hack or whatever you want to say, that the time complexity of a DP problem will be always the memory you are using, which is order of n here, into the complexity of that recursion function. If you remember, in the coin change, it was a constant value because there were 2-3 coins on the share problem. But here, if you let's go to a recursion function, we are calling a loop here, right, inside it. So it will be again n square, because you are just calling a loop again also. So yeah, it will be order of n square in this case. Okay, and that's how you also reduce. It might be a way, like, I'm not sure, it might be a way you can solve it in n or n log n. But even if you are, and that's what good interviewers check in interview, you are able to approach a problem. They also don't expect problem sunte you will say this is a DP problem and I'll solve it. So first you are able to approach because if you are not, if you don't know even the brute force, then no one can help you for sure. And if you are able to approach a problem, then you can definitely solve it. And let's just now, after this problem, let's just see some of the comments. So someone asked about the greedy part, right? So why can't we use greedy approach with the largest possible cost with the current law trend? Okay, so let's go by the greedy approach. So if you see, you are choosing the 4-meter rod. Okay, so let's say, because, and these are again very, very, very good questions. These questions should definitely come to your mind. Here, why are we only using DP? Because in the contest now, like, it happened with me. Like, the question was based on greedy approach, and I was learning DP that day, so I just went with DP and I wasn't able to solve. And it was a very simple problem. So these things happen whenever your mind is stuck with DP or graph, you will just try to apply that, even if the question is very ad hoc. So let me just okay. So what the question is like, let's say a shopkeeper is very dumb and does not know how to calculate all the ways. So what he will see, okay, I can earn profit main by 9 rupees, right? So I'll sell a first 4-meter rod and I'll get 9 rupees. And then I'll left with 1-meter rod, and then I will sell that. So if you'll see here, in this case only, so what will you earn? 9 plus, after selling 1-meter rod, it will be 2 rupees, which is 11. Okay. But if you look closely, there was a better way, which is 3 plus 1 plus 1. So by selling a 3-meter rod, you will get 8 rupees. By selling a 1-meter rod, you will getting 2 rupees. And again, by selling a 1-meter rod, you're getting 2 rupees. So whenever these questions come to your mind, please try with the different cases, and you will find okay, this is failing. So this greedy approach definitely fails, because it's very difficult to prove greedy wrong without the cases and using that complex maths. So you can also prove this DP wrong by using the contradiction. Like, you can just choose an example and say, okay, this is not following, so definitely this is not a correct approach. And please try on the coin change. Just try to find a case where coin change fails. Okay, in greedy approach. Okay, just a homework, small. Okay, now let's one question was, if we follow this curriculum, can we solve all DP problems? What will be the ask in FANG? Okay, so one is like, I don't like the word FANG. Even I'm also working in Amazon, but I have never made anything here I'll go there, or I just don't assume you only want to work in that company only. Okay, so, but again, let's not go over there. So one is like, these types of questions, even if you prepare the DP by this curriculum, but again, I'll say you have to solve problems. You don't need to solve problems like DP with bitmask for interviews, at least. No one will going to ask you. Like, again, it's like, might be some interviewer who was Matlab, who wanted to ask, that's no one can help you 90, but in 99% cases no one going to we're going to ask you DP on trees or DP on DP with bit mask. So even this will be sufficient. And again, first after covering this, I will also conduct the advanced topics. Okay. So last answer. Does Flipkart hires off-campus summer interns? As far as I know, no, they don't hire summer interns. Summer interns off-campus is little difficult. You might get some opportunities, but well, I also got summer intern off-campus only in Morgan Stanley doing using a coding contest. So keep trying, but again, summer intern is not that a big thing. If you are getting that, very very good. If you are not getting this, just utilize your time by learning and sharpen your skills. This is an advice for the college students. Okay. Now the next problem, which is a very famous problem, and okay, I'm not missing on something. Where is this? Okay, rod cutting problem we have covered. Now we're going to what? Farida problem. Okay. So this is a problem, Farida. I'm not sure. At my time, it was very famous on SPOJ, and I've seen like even Flipkart asked this question to one of my friend in interview. LinkedIn also asked. So 2-3 companies have asked this problem, and this is a very good question. Not the very simple one, a little tricky. And the question is very, very simple. And the name is because and the problem discussion was based on that. So it's called Farida. You can also, I also asked you to solve this. And if you are not able to solve or you haven't tried, just learn today and just also try to implement on your own after the session is over. So let's understand the problem. The problem is you are given an array. Okay. So an array is what? There are some coins. Okay. There are some monsters who have some coins. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 monsters. Okay. And this is the end gate. You want to go here and you are here. Okay. Now you have to go at the end. Basically, you have to collect some coins from the monsters and you have to collect maximum coins. Okay. Now, one thing you will say is, okay, I will collect all. Very good. But there's some, that question is not going to be that simple because, so again, as an advice, always read the problem carefully. Now the condition is, if you are taking so basically these are 5 monsters standing in your path. Okay. So the problem, and always try to just visualize the problem also. It will also help you sometimes. So the question is, if you are taking coin from one monster, you cannot take coin from the monster which is just right to it. Okay, so let's say you have taken a coin from this monster, then you cannot take a coin from that monster, the second monster. Similarly, if you are taking a coin from third monster, you cannot take the coin from fourth monster. Okay, so now I think it's simple. At least the problem is clear to everyone. So you have to collect the maximum coins and you should not choose coins anytime from 2 monsters consecutively. Okay. Now again, let's say you don't know anything, you are a very new in computer science. So you can start from 1 and you will choose it. First of all, even let's say we are just very new to this problem. I'm not able to think anything like, because definitely it's not graph or definitely it's not like any ad hoc problem, but always try to give a thought. And then let's say you cannot help yourself and you are again trying to come with a brute force, because that is the thing because that should at least come to your mind. Here, okay, I don't know anything, but what I can do is I can see all the possible combinations. Like one is 1 plus 3 plus 5. Okay. And I have, okay, so which is 9. Okay. I can choose 2 plus 4. Here also I'm not choosing, which is 6. One way is like 1 plus 4. So it's not like you have to choose anything. So this is 5, which is also a very bad thing. Now another can be 2 plus 5. 2 plus, also there are many ways, right? Basically, I'm not that good in permutation combination, but I think you must be. So these are 5 values. You have to fill something over here, and they are, this is not going to be a order n or something. It is definitely going to be exponential because we are talking about some subsets here, and subset always ordered to give our n. Okay. So again, the complexity will think later on, but let's say, okay, thought of thinking brute force, like I will choose all the possible combinations. But not sometimes the brute force is even not that trivial. And that is the beauty of DP. Like if you are able to think the brute force, the DP is done. In DP, the brute force is the toughest thing, because after that, yaar, I will be definitely able to memorize. It takes only hardly 2 minutes to memorize the solution. Okay, but the main thing is to come up with a brute force approach. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so what can be the brute force approach here? I'm also like, and always try to give understand the thought process. How can we think? Because even to make a recursion tree, I know that I have already solved this question before, so it's very easy for me. So it's okay if you are not even able to think the brute force. It's not easy. Again, I'll say you need to spend time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That is fine, and even more. It's not. But if you're able to get the solution on your own, you will get a very very good confidence. And let's say you are not able to get the solution, that's fine, you can see on net and you can solve it. But next time when you are getting the similar problem, you should be able to do. Okay, so let's say again, so here we don't have any single thing, right? So but what should be the starting step here? You will start from, let's say you are here, okay, at the initial point, which is the 0th index. Okay, so basically you are at the 0 index. Now at every step, if you are able to generalize this is a little tricky. I'll again say, there are only two ways. Either you will choose the coin, okay, and not choose the coin. And people who at least know the recursion, whenever you have to find the subsets of an array using recursion, there also you apply the same strategy. Like if I have to write the subset, what do you think? Yeah, either I will choose this or not choose this. Okay, so because whatever possible combination you are getting at the end, like the way is 1 4 5, I can write it like I chose 1, I did not choose 2, I chose 4 5, and I cannot get because they are consecutive. Let's say you chose 1 plus 3 plus 5. I can imagine it like this: I chose 1, I did not choose 2, I chose 3, I did not choose 4, I chose 5. If let's say one possible way you can think is 1 plus 5. So how can I describe it? I chose 1, I did not choose 2, I did not choose 3, I did not choose 4, but I chose 5. So whatever answer you are getting, or whatever all the possible ways, you can write it like this, right? So here also we are going to use the same approach, because to know the brute force also you are able to have to think something, right? So again, okay, so at the 0th step you have two options, right? Either you will choose the value, like you will take the coin or not take the coin. Okay, so we have two choices. So one is the taking the coin. So I took the coin, so I got 1 rupees. But now can I go to 2, or do I need to go to 2? Because if I've taken the coin 1, I should not go to 2, right? Because I cannot choose a consecutive one, so I will skip. Okay, so I'll go directly to, and these are the indexes, don't get confused with the value. So this is the index, like you are at the 0th index, so you cannot go at, I'll also write above 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, no, the input. Okay, I'll just change the input only. I think it's my mistake that I'm choosing this value. The input will never be sorted again. So it will be like, it can be anything. I can make it 10 or anything you can make. Well, the input is not sorted. So at the 0th step, I have two choices. One is either I can choose take the coin, and because also at the monster door you have, if you imagine this game in real life, again, let's say you go to this monster, you will see here, okay, it's my wish, right? I want to take or not. And if you have taken, then in the real life also you will not take from the next one. It's common sense, right? You will go to directly from the next one. So that's how we are going to solve this problem. You are going to not going to the first one, you are going to the second one. And if you have the second choice was you have not taken the value, so you will not get any rupees, but you can go to the next monster. Okay. Similarly, from 2, if I have again I have the same choices again over here also. I can take these 3 coins or I can leave. If I take these 3 coins, I'm going to go over 4. This value are a little confusing because index are there, but these are indexes. Again, I'm writing these are the indexes which I'm writing over here. So 4 is the 4th index, which basically I have come over here. So I took the 3 rupees, basically 1 rupees I took, 3 rupees I took, and this 5 rupees I took. Not took yet, but I have come to the 4th one. And if I have not taken this 3 rupees also, then I have not earned anything, earned 0 from here, but now I can go to the next index, which is 2, so next index is 3. So every step we have 2 choices. Okay. And now okay, someone is asking some doubt. When coming up with a code, is there any clue on how to create a recurrence relation for the problem, especially when coding the bottom-up solution? See, this is a top-down. One thing is, again, if I'm not able to told you earlier, the top-down is basically you are starting from top, and basically I generally call top-down whenever I'm writing the recursive solution. So in bottom-up, you don't need any recursion. I'm not able to get your question clearly, but yeah, again, if you are asking like there is a way to think of this recurrence relation, it is again, like I'll say, it is tough. It's not easy. Like in the rod cutting problem, it was little easy, but here, so that's what I'm saying here. If you have solved this creating the subset, okay, that's the mistake people do, like creating the subset. Let's say most of you have done this problem, like writing printing all the subsets, but at that time what we do is we don't think what all we can get from that question. We just solve the problem कि यार ये recursion है, and we just move to the next, but we don't take any knowledge from there. But if you take a knowledge here, okay, the concept is we are choosing the value, we are not choosing the value, then it is again very easy to apply that thing here. So that's what I say, always focus more on concepts rather than just even if you are taking that approach is not good, like not bad, you are just solving the problems and problem, but always try to like just get everything from that question, every small knowledge from that question that is going to provide you. Okay, so now from 1 you can, again, if you are getting the coin, which is this 2 coin, so you got 2 coin, but now you cannot move to this second index, you can move to third index, and if you are not taking this coin, you again get a 0 value, but you can move to the second index. So now if you'll try to make this, and again this is very simple thing, these are 5 values, but you should definitely try to make a tree for 3 values. It will be very small, and you will get here I am able to print all the possible ways, all the possible outcomes. Okay, so now again I will not be able to create the complete tree, but now you must be getting some essence. Okay, and now what will be your terminating condition? When you will reach an index which is greater than equal to n, basically you are out of this array, you will return 0 because you cannot now get any coin here. So it will terminate from somewhere, and you will keep adding these values, right? Because you have got 1 coin here, 3 coin here, and again, like a rod cutting also, it's very simple. You will take the maximum of these 2. Okay, so let's see the code. And again, now if you just try to think and stop here for 1 minute, the most trickiest thing and the hardest thing I'll say is sorry, what I was saying. The most trickiest thing or hardest thing is like, again, the thinking about the brute force, and people think brute force is easy. So that's, you don't have to think. Brute force is also tough. It's not easy to write the brute force for every question, but yeah, that's again sharpen your mind. So if just try to think. If you're not able to think, again go to Google, first try to take the hint. If you are not able to solve the problem by a hint, then see the solution. But even after seeing the solution, you should definitely able to implement. And the next time you get a similar kind of problem, at that time you should be able to do that. Okay, and that's, I used to do competitive programming during my time. It's not like I was able to do the question at the first step only. I remember these problems I was not even able to solve at, definitely remember अच्छे से, if you'll go to my accounts, I was not able to, I did not get any correct answer at the first instance. You will get wrong answer, you will see the solution. But at the next time, like in the interview, when I'll get this problem, I will able to solve. And competitive programming mein, there are not much varieties of problem. You will follow a kind of, you will see a kind of similar pattern in some problems. So like if you realize here, the coin change and the rod cutting are kind of little same. And coin change mein there are variations. So people will ask you that. In this question also, I can say here, instead of consecutive, you can not choose the monster two places. Like from one, you can only choose the fourth monster, or the not the second and third. So these kind of variations are there. So it's very simple. Okay, someone is asking NAPSEC also follows whether we take it or not. That's correct. But in NAPSEC, there's a little extra thing of condition of a back. So we'll take in the next or next session. But yeah, in NAPSEC also, we just think that here I'm a thief. I'll either choose the money or not. So let's not go there. Okay. So again, come over here. Where we are? So we have made the tree. Now you know here I just need to take the maximum. Now I think you will be able to write the code, but again I'll just show you my code. It's very simple. So just pause problem. So I just written the code in that way. You are taking the number of test cases first, and here the mem set helps you. I'm just again showing you like why have you chosen the. You can also write a for loop here, and some people think here I can also write this thing, right? People do like this. I'm not sure. Some I've seen like, I'm not sure whether I'm writing the correct syntax or not, but this also declares to 0, but not for every test case. So for every test case, if you have to mem set or something, but let's not go there because we have not used the word DP yet. So again, the problem is again, like you have n number, n monsters are there, and again, like you can also relate. If you make a recursion tree in your notebook now, it's very easy to write the code. You are starting from this. Yes, I am starting from 0. Okay. Now this recursion is my circle. Again, it's recursion my circle. So I'll go over here. Now we'll see about the terminating condition later. So again, I have two choices. One is I can choose the value and I can go to like at the zeroth index. So I can take the, so this is, I took the coin and I moved to index plus 2 because there's no point, because let's say if you take this, because and let's assume people make some problems in recursion, and okay, first let's see the correct solution, then we'll see how to debug that. So let's say we do a recursion of index plus 2, and if we are not using the coin, then we can definitely move to the next problem, next index, sorry, not problem. And then you just have to take the maximum of these two. So, and you will just return the answer. Okay, so now, and again, it's very simple, right? And I think now you can also relate here, this 3, and well, you must be also thinking, yeah, it's very simple, right? This 3 is here, this 3 is here. So I will not, my tree will become same. So I will just store the value. And I'm not modifying my code. You know how to memorize it. You will just save the value here. You will just use return from here. Now let's say people are, let's say, do mistakes. Everyone of us can make mistakes, and you can, and in recursion it's very common. But the main thing is you are able to rectify your problem. Okay, so now you are able to make a tree like 0. Say we'll go to, if I choose the value, then I'll go to 2. If I don't choose the value, I will go to 1. Okay, now again it will be either 2 say 4 or 2 say 3. Okay, now let's say while writing the code, you miss something and you write here index plus 1. You thought, yeah, okay, this will get handled in the next part. Yeah, I will not choose it next time. But now if you try to print it, like if you remember, I told you to debug recursion, the best way is just printing this index at the top, all the parameters I'm saying. So if you'll just print the get the output for this index only, you will get first 0. You can try it on your own. Then you will get 1. Then you will get 2. But ideally, you should be able we're getting, because like I told you, the tree got evaluated like this 0, 2, 4. Then on the right part, first if the left sub part will get evaluated first. So you should be able to get 0, 2, and 4. But you are getting 0, 1, 2. So this means the mistake is in your calling. Like you are not able to calling the function from the correct value, and then you can say, oh, okay, this I made a mistake. Okay. And if your this part is correct, like basically this question is very simple, but let's say your these values are correct. Okay, like you are able to print these correct values. Okay. So like what are these values? So then, and but still you are getting a wrong answer, which means your terminating condition might be wrong or your logic might be wrong, but your at least calling is correct. So in recursion also there are two parts that I divide. First is the calling. You are able to correct the correct sub branches, because this is nothing but a function. Logic is inside this thing. So one is like calling the function, you are calling it correctly, and another thing is like the logic. So if you are able to print the correct values like 0 to 4, then it will be, because it will return something. So that means you are writing calling the correct, but you are making some mistake in logic or something. Maybe you have, instead of 0 you are calling some 100, which is wrong. Okay. So now memorization is clear. Complexity is again very simple here. Like I told you, the space you are using, which is order of, okay, we are not talking about DP yet. Now again, if I want to talk about DP, it's very simple, right? Like you have already told you. So how much thing you need to store the values? So you just need to store for these n indexes, because these are indexes. You will never able to, you don't want to store for index plus 100, right? You will definitely store the answer from 0 to index. So an index is like say n, total n indexes are there. So complexity will be again order of n, because you're using that space, and the complexity of this function. But this function does not have any complexity, because it is very what I'm saying, it is very straightforward, right? Like there's only two, there's no loop, there's nothing, but it's just a two instructions, so it's a constant time. So the complexity of this problem is order of n. And space complexity interviewer asked, so that is again order of n, like because you are using extra order and space. So yeah, these two problems are there. And what's extra we do? Top down and bottom, I don't want to confuse here with bottom up, because if you are understanding top down is fine. Matlab, I sometimes realize actually when I started DP, I used to write bottom up code, but then I realized I should have written top down, because it is more, it helps you in understanding the approaches. Also in bottom up we just mug up the solution, but in top down you think we are able to write the brute force first, and that obviously brute force you cannot write by mugging a solution, right? You will be able to understand. It's very easy to understand a brute force solution. So, but you must be knowing what is bottom. If someone asks you in interviews, basically you are just starting from bottom, like you are not jumping the solution. If I'm just touching on a brief here. Like for this problem also, what I can do is, if someone follows bottom up, I can just give a tip, an advice, which will definitely help you for writing bottom up solutions also. Key, just forget what is here, just forget for now, and just start building the tabulation. Bottom is like you are starting, you are finding the answer for smaller problems. Like in this problem, I'll take coin one. Okay, then I'll move to two, but I'm not telling the solution here. But now think this 3, 4, 5 is not here. I just have to find the answer of 2 using the previous things. So this is just the bottom up, and let's not confuse, because we don't need any these two. You can always go solve the problem with any of the one. Now where were we? Okay, and I somehow zoomed it. I don't know how to unzoom it. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, we are over with the session. Okay, so this is the bottom approach. Okay, now what is 1D DP? I'm just going again. Why we call it 1D DP? Because we just need only 1D array. Because if you'll see, and that I also, oh shit. Okay, anyone knows how to zoom out? No idea. Okay, anyway. Oh, nice. This will work. Okay, so what is 1D DP is? So if you remember in this recursion only, if you remember, I told you in the recursion class, or maybe in the first section of DP, whatever values you are sending here, which are changing, like the parameters, only that much is required to store the value of this circle, because the circle is in this circle you're getting the answer. Like in the rod change, you are getting the answer for 5. Okay, so you need only a single value to store the 5. But let's say in some cases you are sending two values to the parameter, so you will be, this circle is characterized by these two values, so you need a two things, like basically two coordinates to store the answers, and then we will see in the future session. But right now you are able to see, are only we using one value, I can just describe this circle. Okay, so that's again a one session. Okay, so 180p. Okay guys, again, please solve these problems, this coin and spidey 2, at least after solving these two you will definitely get confidence. Coin is easy, spidey 2 is also easy. Little tricky, just think. And it's not, again I'll say, you don't need to be like, I have seen the Shikhar sir sessions and I have to solve the problem in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not like that. It might be like you are able to only get 30% of this session, but you will get 100% when you will solve problems on your own. Okay, so we have done the session and it's enough for today. So you can ask your questions if any one of you have. And I might look scary, but I'm not. So you can ask your freely your questions, whatever you are you want to ask. Okay. Any doubt? It's not about like only DP. If you have any doubts regarding any placement or any general thing, you can ask. Here. Okay, I'm waiting. If anyone has any doubt. Okay. Not getting any comment. Okay, let's wait 3-4 minutes. If anyone is having any doubt. No one is having any doubt. Nice. Okay, fine. Then we can, I think, end the session. And generally people ask doubts regarding placement or companies or off-campus dance. Okay, will there be any difference in question asked for the? Okay, someone asked a question. Will there be any difference in questions asked by interviewer for experienced professionals? Okay, good question. So I'll say, like, I have also switched 2 times after having the experience, and so the kind of questions, at least in the PSDS round, will be definitely same. They might get easier, but they will not be. They will definitely not be very tough. Like in Amazon, also I got not too much tough problems, because with experience you are not able to solve. Like when you are in job, you don't get enough time to solve PSDS problems. So the questions will not be very tough. So that's why I say, yeah, even if your concepts are clear, you will be able to ace any interview. And yeah, for if you're going for senior developer roles like SD2s or senior software developer, then they have even extra round of system design, you have heard. Or so they will give you a design problem that you have to solve. But otherwise, like, there will be a hiring manager round. That also depends to company. But PSDS round is still there. Like, at least for, like I'm saying, if you're even if you're 3-year experience, 4-year experience, they'll still conduct you 2 or at least 1 round for you for a problem solving and data structure round. Okay, I think then it's fine. Just try to, I'll just pose the what I say is, like, pose the question in the description. You can solve after this, and I'll try to conduct sessions regularly from now. Okay, I think good day. Hope you understand today's sessions and enjoy the Sunday. Bye. Good night. Okay, wait, someone is asking doubt. Will not go. I'm not able to come up with idea and div 2B code forces. Okay, that's fine. If you are not able to come up with idea and div 2, okay, एक minute. Let's congratulate once. Okay, sir, मेरा Amazon में हो गया. Now is congrats from all of us, and keep working hard. Even if you are getting into Amazon, like, again I'll say, this is not the end. Your first job or second job or third job is never your end. Like, it's not your last job. So even it's good you have gone to Amazon, but still keep working hard. Okay, now come back to the good question. Now, again, the question is, I'm not able to come up with the idea in div 2 code forces. Yes. So div 2 code forces, uh, maybe it depends, but it's okay if you are not able to solve. Just try to solve the solution question after the contest. And one thing is like, but you can also see some improvement in 2 3 times, and also in, like, I remember in code forces, like uh, like sometimes div 2b question comes tough, sometimes it's easy, so it also depends on that. But it's fine if you're not able to solve, just try to solve it after the contest. And also side by side, you should be able to improve your speed by for solving the first question. So, and it just take like 1.5 hour contest, right? So contests are very very necessary. I'll repeat again and again. People message me a lot, ki, sir, I have practiced 200 problems, 300 problems, but I am not getting anywhere, I'm not still have the confidence. So confidence will always come from the contest, because you will see a new problem over there. And people are scared of contest. I don't know, people wants to go into Google, Amazon, and they say I'm scared of code forces. Dude, so these are two are like again contradictory thing. Like, you also want to be in a very very good companies, like which hire on the basis of PhDs sometimes, and you also are afraid of code forces. That's not work. Like, you have to be, you have to remove that fear. So someone, right, top down is memorization, right, and bottom is tabulation. Okay, the terms are here. So yes, you can learn from here. Key top down memorization is nothing but you are just memorizing the older states where we are going, and tabulation is you are just making a table and you are just correct finding the answer. Okay, then I think it's enough for today. See you next time, and feel free to ask your doubts. On LinkedIn, I always try to message all of you. So on LinkedIn, whenever you have any doubt, any guidance you need, you can always ping me anytime. I might reply a little late, but I will definitely try to reply you all. Okay, good night. Bye bye.